one of our top sponsors, BNB Chain. So hope you guys enjoy it.
Wonderful. Thank you guys. My name is Ilya. We have Austin here from Binance Academy. I'm actually from BNB Chain. I'm one of the senior solutions engineer for North America, as well as leading an initiative called MentorDAO, which is a cybersecurity initiative. Before I start, I just wanted to kind of get an idea of who is in the party here. So if you're a developer, like a web developer, who's a web developer here? Raise your hand up, like, hi, you don't have to be scared. It's cool. What about a CS major? Okay, nice. All right. So who has built something on crypto before? Okay, nice. Who has used crypto before? Put your hands up high, guys. You don't have to be scared. I'm not gonna demerit you here. All right, cool. I'm just trying to get an understanding. There's a lot of different levels of understanding crypto, and even within engineering, even within programming, there's a lot of different levels of understanding. I'll be honest with you, even as a solutions engineer, I'm learning something new every day. I come from the web development background, and so there's parts of blockchain that I don't actually even know about. I have some other engineers working on validators and some other aspects of blockchain, and so I am kind of here to kind of level set and present kind of an intro and get you guys spun up on BNB Chain. So this is all very important. So I thank you for being here. I will go through a bunch of material. Let's hold the questions till the end, because I know that we can go down some really pretty big rabbit holes, but I'm happy to answer some questions at the end. So like I said, I'm from BNB Chain. And I'm kind of presenting, how to build on the BNB Chain. This is kind of a general overview. This isn't anything super in depth. But this is kind of just to get everybody spun up on the BNB Chain. Who knows what BNB Chain is? Nobody? At all? Just one person? Yes. Why are you like scared? Gotcha. Well, I'm glad you got at least another hand. That's a start. What's really interesting is, a lot of people don't know what BNB Chain in the U.S. is. It's very, very popular, more so in Europe and Asia. But you'll find out what it is. So our goal for BNB Chain is to accelerate the adoption of digital assets and blockchain technology by onboarding the next billion Web3 users. So what's really interesting is actually I came from the finance world. I wanted to go into investment banking. And I used to play around on a computer. I used to build websites. I was actually into programming, but I wanted to go into finance. I went into finance and I hated it. And I decided to get out of it. So I went into programming because I thought building websites is a lot cooler. And then I just managed to get into finance, but now I'm programming stuff. So that's kind of cool. So doesn't matter where you start, doesn't matter what you know, but you guys can all have a part of this, which is really cool. So today, BNB Chain is one of the best performing blockchains because of its ability to be reliable, secure, scalable, and also lightning fast. This is due to the fact that we support EVM compatibility. We have high block gas limits, and we support the popular language of Solidity. It's really scalable. We have multi-chain integration. We have an open source BNB chain, and it's very stable due to our validators. The BNB chain is actually has 3 times the daily active users of ETH. Who knows what ETH is? Nice. Okay, so if you know what ETH is, then you basically know what BNB is, because it's layer 1. BNB is actually uses the same code as Ethereum. 100% reliability since its inception. We have 1,300 dApps, which are decentralized apps. 2 million plus weekly active gamers. We support a huge infrastructure. So it's really a go-to place for building innovative Web3 apps. We've got low gas fees. It's a stable network, as I mentioned to you. We've got a mature marketplace mix. We have more than 10 NFT marketplaces that cater to different needs. We have a huge BNB community. So what's really cool about BNB compared to maybe something like Solana or ETH is that we are actually cultivating a large community. So we have a Discord, we have a Twitter where you can find out stuff. I'm sure some of you guys are following CZ, right? When you tweet stuff. So we have a really big community, and we're trying to grow that. And that's really what sets us apart from a lot of the other chains. Is that you can find some resources if you need something, if you're building something. And I'll actually show you a little later on in this presentation where you can find those resources and how you can start building on BNB. We have a strong ecosystem. As I mentioned, we have a lot of partners. We're actually also doing investing. And so if you have a really cool project that you're building on top of it, come talk to me. Maybe I can give you some dough, man. Our finance labs, or sorry, our BNB labs partner is not here today, unfortunately, but should be here during the MIT Hack Week. We have actually people that go and check out these projects, so it's a really cool, innovative project. It's possible to actually get it. We can have a partnership and we can have some sort of investor. So you must be asking, what kind of dApps run on BNB chain? DeFi, GameFi, NFTs, Metaverse all runs on the BNB chain. We can store all those things. So like I said, we have a bunch of decentralized NFT marketplaces where you can build NFTs and sell them. We have the ability to support the Metaverse. We have a huge GameFi. Like there's so many games. You guys can actually go on the internet and find BNB-based games and start playing them immediately. And obviously DeFi. And actually, Austin's going to, in his presentation, go and talk through some DeFi applications and implementations. So that's all marketing fluff, but I'm sure you guys didn't go to MIT just to talk about marketing. I'm sure you guys want to know about the technical stuff, right? Okay, don't sound so excited now. So the key milestones. It was launched on September 2020. Total block value is now close to or past 19 million. Number of dApps, as I mentioned, more than 1,300. Highest daily active users, 2.2 million on December 2001. And then gas price, for example, is 33 cents. Average block time, 3 seconds. And as I mentioned, EVM compatible with most chains. Okay, so you're probably wondering, what is BNB chain? Okay, so it's a EVM compatible. And it is EVM compatible. And what does that mean? So if you build something on an EVM compatible chain, you can actually go from chain to chain and migrate your application. So for example, if you build something on Ethereum, you can actually migrate it to BNB chain. As I mentioned, we support a lot of programming language, mostly Solidity and a couple other ones, as I mentioned here. And we have a plethora of innovative, community-driven, and decentralized apps. And what it looks like is this. So BNB is actually a combination of a couple of components. We have the beacon chain, which is the governance layer. And then we have the BSC smart chain, which is what supports applications, the dApps. We also have a BNB side chain. And coming soon, we have ZK rollups that will actually help with throughput. BNB beacon chain, to protocol standard. BNB smart chain is actually about 20 and supports smart contracts, so you can actually build web applications on top of that. Just a reiteration here. EVM compatible consensus layer with hubs to multi-chains. That's the BNB smart chain, as I mentioned. BNB beacon chain used for voting and governance, also staking and voting. And then the BNB sidechain allows you to have ready-to-use POS solutions for developing custom blockchains. So what can you do? Well, basically send and receive BNB to other bet tokens. You can stake your bet, but for developers, you can issue new tokens, migrate to existing dApps. You can run a full node to broadcast live updates. You can also become a validator, also develop wallets and tools to use with those dApps. So they kind of work hand in hand, these two layers. I'll leave that up for a second so you guys can see that. So who knows what kind of consensus mechanism Binance uses? Anybody? Okay, better question. Who knows is what proof of stake is? What's proof of stake?
It's like when like owners will have to have some coins to in order to vote in the process.
Say that again?
They'll need a sum of coins in order
Yep.
to be able to participate in the process.
Exactly. So proof of stake, you actually need to put some money down. Exactly. You have a validator node to validate contracts on the blockchain. So that's really cool, but that can cause high gas fees. Proof of authority, you know what proof of authority is? So proof of authority is the right for validators to actually be able to validate on the chain. So somebody gives them the authority to do that. That's not, you might say, quite decentralized. So what an interesting thing that we have done here is we have used proof of stake authority. So we use proof of stake in order to lower the gas fees and allow transaction throughput to be significantly higher than it would be with just proof of authority. So what's great about that? So for example, Ethereum has actually went to proof of stake. It has not actually lowered the gas fees because people are still bidding to actually validate those transactions. With proof of stake authority, what that allows you to do is have a select amount of validators within basically a staking range, and those validators are able to actually do the validation based on the amount they've staked. So it gives you a certain amount of decentralization, but also allows you to have some rails in order to really lower those gas fees. So I'm going to go into a couple of cool innovations that are coming up. We have soulbound tokens. Soulbound tokens is basically, I like to call it something like a passport in the wild world of crypto. Soulbound tokens are non-transferable tokens that represent commitments, credentials, and affiliations. So basically, kind of like a passport. If you travel through the crypto world, this would be like a dog tag or a passport. So if you graduated at MIT or you graduated at Harvard or you went to a party or an event, you can kind of like stamp that specific token with various attributes and then be able to either share or disallow people to see that, for example. So very cool concept that we're working on, and will allow people to basically, let's say you develop something for the metaverse. You have this kind of identifier per person or per entity that you're able to use
and put all this information onto. Kind of like this, yeah. So you've got wallets, maybe you call them soul wallets. So if you completed a course, it actually goes into your soul wallet. This is attached to you. And then maybe you'll repay a loan, so you can attach that to that wallet. And so maybe only certain people get to see, the wallet A, or some people get to see wallet B. It's a pretty cool concept that we have coming up. I personally am working on a DAO initiative. Who knows what DAOs are? Okay, cool. At least we have some people. The DAO initiative is really, really interesting. So we actually just released it last week. DAO stands for Decentralized Autonomous Organization. So it's a way to govern a certain entity kind of through automations. Event DAO seeks to protect people on the BNB chain. So very cool concept. What we're trying to do is create a multi-layer API system that allows people to actually scan wallets and those that are transacting and kind of get risk scores and risk events on those specific entities. Let me, I don't have a link on here, but I do have it here. So I do want to show you guys kind of the website that we've created. This is not the website that people would be using. This is just kind of a landing page to kind of show you what's going on through the APIs. And I'll show you the kind of the architecture on those APIs in just a second. But what we're actually doing is working with various auditors These are the founding members. These are actual security auditing firms that go through and look at the contracts and look at the entities on a per diem basis and actually create risk scores so that people don't get subjected to a rug pull or some sort of malicious activity. So what's really cool here, and this is kind of like a limited time deal right now that we're doing while we're doing these hackathons and stuff, we actually have a risk scanner here. And this risk scanner will actually allow you to put a contract address in as if it were to be used through this network. This is not going to be a publicly open network, so things such as sexes, dexes, wallets, other transactors will be actually able to use this API in order to get those security risks covered. But this is just for me to show you guys. Like I said, this was really exciting. This is released last week. We just released this publicly. So what I'm going to do, I just have this this wallet address that we're using for testing here. I'm going to put it in, and we're going to press this button. It's actually going through the API, contacting the auditors, and actually giving a risk score of that specific contract. And what's really cool is you actually get a bunch of JSON data here. It shows you, for example, if it's the risk is coming from some sort of cybercrime aspect of it, or for example some sort of financial crime, some sort of dark web transactions possibly. Obviously you can see that it's 0 here. And this is the actual providers that we have. Currently we're integrated with 2 providers. And we will be integrated with those lists of providers that I showed you guys in the next coming months. So yeah, lots of different aspects that you guys can see. For example, fake KYC. If they've got some sort of holders that are possibly malicious. We've got a lot of very interesting companies here that we got. So yeah, so that's the Avenger DAO. It has multiple components to it. The meter is actually a passive API, which allows you to actually send a request on various addresses. So it's just like a regular API. You submit an address, say, hey, is this bad or not, and then it sends that back, just as I showed you. The watch will be a active API, which will actually send you or send subscribers various alerts about contracts or malicious activity. And then the vault will be a escrow-based service, so you can time lock funds based on parameters. Kind of looks like that. My boss told me to put some charts up, so there you go. You guys like charts? So charts are great. Right. So on this left side, you can see that there's the security auditors, and in the middle is the aggregator, which is where the API is. So it's kind of like middleware. And then we've got the wallets and the dApps and the dexes and all the stuff that we'll be accessing all these funds today. Or sorry, not funds, parameters and security risks. Scores. This is the watch. Also very simple, but here it just essentially sends out various alerts. The vault, as I mentioned, is kind of a time lock or an escrow-based service. So, for example, if we were to interact, and I didn't know if you were maybe possibly a malicious actor or a contract, but we need that scan to come back, and we haven't gotten it, we'll be able to lock it up based on time events, time lock, and then get that information, and then based on that information, either send the funds forward or send them back. What's really cool is I actually put these links. These are some of these security implementations are already active. So if you go to DAppBay, which is a marketplace for dApps on the BNB chain, you can actually see right here is a red alert. And the red alert actually uses one of our auditors that actually provides in real time these security audits of these bad contracts. So you can actually see. Forsage was a really big security breach here. A bunch of these other ones are pretty bad. You can actually click on it and you can get some more information on that, which is really cool. So I don't know of any other chains that are doing that. If you do, let me know. You'd be interested in knowing, but I really don't know of anybody else doing that. So this is a very, very unique and one-of-a-kind project that you guys are seeing. Very innovative for the crypto community. You can click on here, like I said, you can actually see why there was a security breach, there's some risk associated, and it says try now, but it says I probably don't want to do that. Pancake swap? Who uses pancake swap? Who uses pancake swap? Nice, okay, so a couple people, including myself. Pancake swap actually does the same thing, so I think I've got my wallet connected. Make sure you just close your eyes if I have any sense. Don't steal my address. Alright, so as you can see here, you can actually click on the scan here, and this is actually again using one of our auditors. So Avendal will be providing these security audits through the API for this stuff. So again, really cool implementation. I know I've been not trolled. Well, I've been trolled too before, but I've been scammed. I bought NFTs, bad NFTs. Who bought a bad NFT? And it was fake. Well, you guys are obviously smarter than I am. Because, yeah, I definitely did that, and it would have been nice if we had this sort of, scanner and notification, so I wouldn't have done that before. Cool, yeah, so let's keep on going here. So you must be asking me, enough of that stuff. How do we build our own BNB chain? Well, I have an answer for you. We have actually a lot of tutorials on GitHub, which is really, really cool. So if you want to do stuff and build stuff, you can actually go on our GitHub, and we've got 4 tutorials that you can work over, and you can start building almost immediately. I'm not the type of person, I don't know about you guys, that I can't sit around and like read books on coding. I know some people can, but I cannot. I actually need to do stuff. I need like hack stuff, I need to build stuff, I need to program stuff. These are really, really, really great ways to do that. I didn't put a QR code up on here. You guys are, a lot of you guys are CS majors. Just get in contact with me and I'll send you the link. Also, these, all of the information can be actually found on docs.bnbchain.org. We have a full introduction, a full tutorial. We have how to get started. As I mentioned, we have the tutorials on here. So if you want to just like start hacking and building stuff on there, this is actually how I learned how to do stuff on BNB when I joined. It's really, really, really good. We also have Binance Academy here. As I mentioned, Austin is here. He's one of our partners. We have a lot of videos and we have a lot of really good resources on YouTube, which I'm sure you guys have seen before, if you guys are good, obviously. But yeah, lots of really great resources, so check out BNB Docs. But like I said, unfortunately, I didn't put the QR code up here. I'm happy to share where these are located. You're able to basically create a Hello World full stack dApp. There's a tutorial on how to develop a full stack dApp that uses transaction details using a block explorer. You can deploy NFTs, which is my personal favorite, because I really like NFTs and music and stuff like that. And deploying smart contracts using that same ID is really cool. So useful tools, BSC scanner. Who's used ETH scanner before? Cool, alright. So BSC scanner, kind of like ETH scanner. ETH scanner scans, allows you to see transactions on Ethereum. BSC scanner, BSC scanner does the same thing for BSC chain. You're actually able to actually go in here, and I think I already have an address on here. Yeah, we can put that same address in here, and we can click on it. And you can see actually all the stuff that's happened on that address. So that is actually a good thing and a bad thing about crypto, is that it's transparent, but it's also pseudonymous. I think we want to think it's anonymous, but I personally think it's pseudonymous at this point, which is really cool. For good or for bad, you can do various things. But so how does it pertain to BSC scan? You can actually see those transactions. So you can actually see this as a transaction hash, kind of like the receipt for a transaction. You can see what block it was recorded into, how many days ago that was recorded into, from where, and to who. So as you can see, this was to Binance Charity Tree token. You can actually click on this from address, and then you can see all of the transactions on that wallet. It's just like a big gigantic chart. It just goes, or sorry, a tree. It just spreads out from there. So you can see all the various transactions. What's another cool thing on BSC Scan? You can actually check out the validators leaderboard. You guys remember I just talked about validators? These are the validators that are actually validating all the transactions on here, on the BSC chain, or BNB chain, sorry. You can go through and just see who is the top validator, their voting power, the last block they validated, all their activities here. Very interesting information here. All the transactions here as well. It's a lot of really great information, so this is a really great tool to start exploring the blockchain. I know for me, when I started working on blockchain, it really didn't make sense because it just kind of like was ambiguous, like what are all these things. These tools allow you to see what's going on in real time. As you can see, literally in real time, this happened a minute ago. And you can actually see the tokens here as well. We've got some top charts and stats, just in case you like charts. I got those. Average block time. It's a really important one because you can compare it to other blockchains. I don't know why it's doing this weird thing where it's not showing anything, but we talked about it. It's 3 seconds. As you can see, 3 seconds. 3.33. You can see the unique addresses, which is really cool to see. So that kind of shows you the growth of the blockchain, which is really, as you can see, it's continually growing. And let's see what's another cool one. Average daily gas used. So as you can see, the gas fees have been going down steadily. Probably because of a lot of these factors. Cool. So let me finish this talk up. Just a couple more things. So mainnet versus testnet, you can actually use testnet to build your applications on. So you don't have to actually use real tokens, which is really great. So you can just screw around, play with it. Testnet functions exactly like a mainnet. So as I mentioned, you can download tutorials, build it on testnet, and you don't have anything at stake, so to speak. A couple more helpful links and resources. I will be doing this talk again on Saturday. I will have a GitHub with all these resources and links, but if you want them right now, please just let me know. I'm happy to share them with you. We've got a bunch of development tools, as you can see here. And so that's more or less my talk from the tech side. There's a lot of collaboration opportunities, don't forget. Like I said, we actually incubate a lot of projects. We have campus recruitment, which my good friend Austin here is going to talk about, as well as a lot of campus events that we're doing. We're doing a whole US tour, we're going to a lot of colleges, we're doing a lot of events. We have a hackathon in San Francisco, a lot of really great and exciting events. So if you guys are interested, we actually have Discord, Twitter, GitHub, a bunch of different tools. Please feel free to grab my information. Please stay in contact with me. I'm happy to pass you on if you have any questions, if you have any more, if you have any interest in developing projects or being part of hackathons. We're here to kind of connect with you guys. So let's build on the chain. Austin's going to talk after me, but I'll take some questions, guys. Yes, ma'am. Sorry?
I'm curious how do you get the data from BSC scan? And do you run a node by yourself or how do you get it?
Yeah, I'm not sure who runs Node, but I think there's an API node that provides the data and then it's pulling off of there. To be 100% honest with you, I have not dealt with pulling data off the blockchain like that, so I'll definitely get back to you on that if you have any more questions on that. Yeah. Any more questions, guys? Anybody? Anybody? Speechless? MIT? Amazing. All right. Thank you guys. Appreciate it.